And we're live. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another issue episode. What do we wanna call these little gatherings, these little shindigs, these informal yet formal yet fun little connections that we do here? Well, whatever it is, we're at another one right now. Happy Friday for those of you watching this live. For those of you watching the replay, happy day to you indeed. We have a slew of good questions. We've got 6 to get through today. 6 questions. We'll see if we get through them all. We do have a special guest that should be hopping on shortly. We'll see about that. I'll be watching the door while we do that. But in the meantime, you guys know the format. It's an Ask Us Anything. At the moment, Ask Me Anything. Drop it down into the comments section. If you're watching the replay of this, then you can watch this wherever it is that you want to, wherever you're watching this, you can drop your comment on there. And if, you want to add a little bit more information, jdm.bio, there's a link there. You can use that to ask a little bit longer form questions. Like Rajiv's joined us here, so I'm going to invite him up onto the stage here. Always takes more clicks than I expect it to. Welcome, my friend. Hello.
Hey, JDM, how are you?
I am exceedingly well, thank you. Happy Friday. How are things in Orlando?
They are warm and muggy, but
that's weird.
It's what we're used to.
What is how warm is it today?
I think today is in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. But last week we were up in the hundreds, and with a heat index, it was actually nudging up on 110 if you include the humidity.
Yeah, we get some of those actual 110 days here, but we don't get that humidity. So,
but
you live in a swamp.
We do live in a swamp, literally.
They try to do the polite thing. What do they call it? 100 lakes? Is that
the 100 lakes? Yeah. Okay, I see what you're doing with the euphemism there.
Yeah, I think it's a euphemism. I think.
Exactly.
Well, awesome. For those of you joining live here, you can drop your questions into the chat. We do have some from our grab bag that we'll get to in a minute. But first, good to see you, my friend. It's been too long since we've gotten together. But a lot of our crew here is going to come from the California side, so they may not really know much about you or what you're up to in Orlando. And I hate to ask such a terrible question, forgive me, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, happy to. So I started off as a software developer 25-ish years ago. Moved up, I was doing some consulting. I did some consulting in the healthcare space, did some consulting in the e-banking, mobile banking space. And then I started my own consulting company about 20 years ago called Informulate. Which started off as doing software development. We kind of went up the food chain, if you will, on owning digital products for our clients from soup to nuts. And then we added innovation consulting, which includes like business modeling, value proposition design, experiments, and data-driven decision-making, all of that stuff. And we've been doing that for about 12 years now. Big fan of lean startup, big fan of design thinking. Of course, Agile goes without saying. Working on a bunch of different technologies, web, mobile, data analytics, and of course, all in on AI right now. So we're doing a lot of that AI-related work now. In parallel, about 10, 11 years ago, I started a nonprofit called Orlando Innovation League, which runs a bunch of different events throughout the year. We have a monthly meetup. We have something called a quick pitch for startups. We have a startup weekend, which we do twice a year to help, potential founders test out ideas and launch new ideas, which of course you were a part of, JDM, with, facilitating some of those events for us, which of course I really enjoyed doing that with you. It's been my pleasure and honor to see you in action there. And then, of course, more recently, about 2 years ago, we came up with the idea for AIR. It's AIAR.co, short for AI Accelerator. So we took some of our learnings, and I've been on the board of an accelerator or two. I've been a mentor kind of helped a lot of people individually. And of course, some of our clients at Informulate are funded startups. So to put all that knowledge of what we've done into an AI, we've got virtual AI agents, if you will, that are helping people move through the process. We've got kind of a 4-step process to go from idea to revenue in 90 days. And that was launched last year. It is still available for free download on Apple and Android app stores. We are going to start charging for it later this month. We've rolled out about 3 different versions or upgrades so far. And I think we finally got it to the point where it's not an MVP anymore. So feel free to go check it out, and it'll take you from idea to revenue in 90 days. And yeah, we're adding a lot of really exciting features this fall before we start charging for it, including voice-enabled meetings where the AI will have a meeting with you and figure out what you want to do for the week, weekly stand-ups and things like that. We've got competitive analysis coming in. We've got a bunch of really cool features that are going to help accelerate how solo founders and first-time founders especially can get to revenue and find product market fit quickly. So that's
awesome. That's AIAR.co.
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, I'll put that link in the I guess we'll call it show notes. But I'm curious. So, like obviously AI's table stakes, right? In 2025 for anybody doing anything. Like if your pitch is we do AI for, I've already lost interest, right? AI is table stakes. You deliver amazing value, and I'm sure there's AI somewhere, right? Like that's the thing here. But like one of the areas that I think is really ripe for a bit more AI disruption is on like the entrepreneurship side. And there's a few like we've got some things we're tinkering with, over here with our accelerator that we're looking at. But I'm a little bit curious, like, what is the, like, for people who, maybe don't understand exactly how this might work in practice, like, what would it mean to be an AI accelerator?
Yeah.
Or like, because that sounds like an AI for accelerators, but obviously not what I meant. But like, what does that like translate to on like day to day?
Yeah, you mean specifically with air or in general?
Specifically with air.
Yeah. Okay. So we've taken a very holistic view of what an accelerator does, right? Because we're not. I think there's a lot of tools out there that I would say are kind of single use case tools, like single use tools where you go put in your notes and it's going to generate a marketing plan for you. You're going to put in something and it's going to give you a strategy, or it's going to give you an experiment, or it's going to give you a slide deck for pitches or whatever, right? And I think these are kind of what I would call single use apps, or kind of wrapper apps, thin sliced problem solution apps. What we've tried to do is, I think JDM, you know this really well. You could be a mentor and you could tell a startup founder, hey, go do this thing, right? But that's not the end of it. Like, you didn't solve all the problems that the founder is going to have. You just gave them one specific direction. The founder needs a lot of things. They're going to go do